No, I don't want to do it. No, I'm not going to. What part of no don't you understand? Well, I didn't say the last bit, but I thought it. This was the conversation of about my third or fourth phone call from producers at BGT. Britain's Got Talent, for those who wonder what BGT means. I then ended up, actually, on probably the call after that, going through this, no, I don't want to, and then ended up saying, I will think about it. I might do it. I felt in an embarrassing position because the advertisements and the publicity in social media in various places said how we entertain at parties and at social events and how wonderful we are, and it showed videos of one of our dog members that happens to compete in Crust. So it's a bit of a failure of having this glossy publicity, in that it's very hard to say no, we're no good and we don't do that. It was more a case of no, I don't think I want to. But anyway, I ended up doing it, which comes to the first thing about facts and fiction. Facts to me, but probably fiction that other people believe about it. One of the things which I'd heard was about people being kind of like headhunted and got onto the programme and being picked to go onto it. I guess this was people that have about half a dozen phone calls and end up saying yes. But when I actually went there, everybody I spoke to had the same situation as me. Rather awkward, really. I never feel, I don't know if I should be saying this, I don't know if I should be giving out these facts, but I never completed an application form. It was never even requested. They just sort of knew the details about me, and when I got there, it was a case of, you don't go through where everybody else is, all these hordes outside. You walk straight up through the door, even though they've never seen you live, and it's only the producer's audition. You walk up through them, and straight away you're pounced on, and a microphone put on you and on my partner, told that what we say is going to be recorded. We do the audition, and then at the end of it, before we go home, they come to us and say they want to film both of us walking into it and signing in and registering again at the end of the audition. And this is before we've been told that we've even made it into a live audition. So maybe that is what you believe, and you've already believed before, but I don't know if it is. So whether it's fact or fiction, you'll have to decide. Also, when you do actually go through to it and you start on this process, you lose all sense of being in control. You are not in control. You decide what you're going to do and what you'll do for your audition, and all the time this phone goes 2 or 3 times, or it seems to be going 2 or 3 times a day. Oh, could you feed a few more dogs? Have you got any more? It would be nice to have a chorus of dogs. No, we haven't. And then, are you quite sure? Well, I'll see what I can do. So what happens? You take up 2 nice dogs to join you at the back of the stage, just being a kind of little chorus, and then you're told when we get there, no, we didn't want dogs, we can't have dogs now. And I had to persuade them that my dog was allowed. This was for the live audition. And so obviously that was a little bit of feeling like out of control. Also, the hotels and the places where we were filming in, the theatres and that, aren't always very receptive to dogs. You've got the lovely staff from BGT, the girls and the young men, and the one young man that took care of me from the beginning to the end, that are really quite, well, they're really kind of like being nice and helpful, but you've always got this hotel person that comes up and says, no, we can't have dogs in here. And I say, well, I'm performing, I'm down, I've got to be in here. No, oh, well, if you insist, we'll go and find out. And you've got to go in that back door round there, and then you go through there, and it's all winding round to find where your room is. I'm being told that you're to stay in there. I think this was at Cardiff, but there were 2 or 3 times like that where it was actually difficult having a dog. One of them was when we got back from a whole day's filming, which had started about at some unearthly hours, about 8 o'clock. I don't get up at that time, or even wake up, but it was an earthly hour, like started at that time, and it didn't go end until about 11 o'clock that night. I don't know if you've had some of this experience. You're sat there, it's quite boring most of the time, apart from when you're going into interviews or doing anything. Endless packets of crisps being sent round, and bottled water, apples, little packets of things, little wrapped up cakes or something like that. And you think, when am I going to get a proper rest and a proper meal? But it wasn't like that. Then you get back to your hotel, you're ferried back to there, and you see everybody going off to their hotels or where they're going to in their taxis. And, well, where's my taxi? It's coming, don't worry, your taxi's coming. And then your taxi comes, and then I've been told, we don't take dogs in the taxi. So I said, well, you've got to get in a taxi, but does take a dog in it. So another half an hour wait until a taxi comes that can get a dog in it. So that's one of the things, this sense of not being in control, deciding what your routine is going to be, and then explaining it all to them. And, oh no, we don't like that idea. What about this? And it's never, I don't like this idea. It's always my producers. I never actually met my producers. They seem to have control over everything, except this very charming young man that always sort of said, oh well no, they wouldn't allow this, or they don't want this, or they want you to do the other. They wanted it to be like my audition of 1940s routines. So I set up all this nice routine, get the things, what I need for that, and then what happens after you've done this is a couple of days before you get a call. No, we don't like that. We've changed our minds. We're going to go. We're not going to do that at all. And I said, well, I've worked out the routine, and then we'll come down to your house. They came down to my house. We went out in the park. They came to my club. They filmed everywhere, and even wanted to film in the bedroom for some peculiar reason. I have no idea what was happening, but they kind of seemed to be always wanting me there. It wasn't just the producer's audition, the live audition and the semis. No, there's the one to do all the glamour shots. Richard, my dog, who was really a little star. He went straight, sat on his spot, came straight back. Camera swung all the way round, and my little dog just sat on the chair, and he actually moved his head round like that without getting off the spot. He was so wonderfully behaved that that's what I could really take pride of. But that was a separate day. Then a day down to rehearse in Pineapple Studios, with people that don't really understand dogs and want to do all sorts of things that they can't do anyway, and they want to change your routine again that you've gone in with. And then you say, I need a carpet, it's all sorts of slippery, and oh no, and so they've got to go and find a carpet that suits you. And that's one of the other days. And then you get into the semis, and there's a workshop day to learn all about copyrights, all about what you can do and you can't do, and you're also told then of how you've got to tell them of anything bad that you've done in your life, because if you don't, it's going to be exposed and everybody is going to know about it. Well, I am coming up to the end of part one, which I decided would be wherever I got to at this point. I wasn't going to worry about the time too much because it was on entertaining and informing you. But just to say that I don't actually regret doing it. There was a lot of fun. But maybe that's going to come next time if I do part 2 of BGT.